We often think of history as something that really took place in the past, and that it's great to remember it and great to document it and keep that, but does it really have any practical purpose for us today? I believe that the daring hunter David Livingstone and Dr. Livingstone's story is one for our times, a modern story that's as important today as it was in his own day. The story is really about his fight against injustice. And I've done a lot of work myself in Africa, in the places where there's not an active court system, where there's not an active justice system, and people fall through the cracks. There's no system of recourse to right the wrongs. And so people end up taking justice into their own hands. And it doesn't always work out very well. For David Livingstone, the manifestation of injustice was the slave trade. There was no one there to stop it. There was no one there to create values or be a moral compass for society. Modern day slavery is enormous across the world, including Africa. And in these places where modern day slavery happens, or illegal detention, or the taking of property from widows, these types of injustices are places where there just is not a functioning justice system. And Livingstone's story is really about the cry for justice, the cry to build a functioning justice system. And there's a lot of work and literature out there and study now that's happening about how if we improve justice, we improve commerce. We improve the lives of people every day. We make it a place where people feel safe. It's not just going into court, it's not just going to a police station. It's something that allows business to function, life to flourish. Once we can build a justice system, people feel like they can go to the open market and transact business. They can live safely in their homes. They can invest in their property because they know it won't be taken away from them. And there are so many great organizations that I see as organizations Livingstone would be proud of. He was the front runner to so many of these great groups. The International Justice Mission, which is doing fantastic work throughout the world in Africa to combat violent injustice and build justice systems. World Vision, which is doing so much great development throughout the world in building and helping create communities and caring for children and widows. Opportunity International, which is doing microfinance and giving small loans to the very poorest to help them build businesses and become self-sustaining. And ultimately that was Livingstone's vision, a vision of Africa that was good for business, that was interested in commerce, that was trading within itself and within the outside world. And I think he would be so proud to see some of the great work happening today and the great work continuing. His story is just as important today as it was then. It's a modern analog for so many things in our world today.